UFC Vegas 90. This is going to be a quick recap video just showing my bets and how I did make a big old boatload of money last night at just a small Apex show. We got UFC 300 next week, so look out for some early content on this YouTube. But this is just going to be a quick video going through the fights real quick, showing the bets that I cashed, the few that I missed. We'll get into that real quick. And make sure you leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comments what bets you cashed. And I am super hyped for UFC 300 next week. Stick around to the end of this video. We're going to be smoking that bookie pack. Again, not just for these bookies, but for 300 next week. So first fight of the night, man. Started off hot. We had Cornoli plus 290, and we had the fight doesn't go to decision plus 230. Mullins did exactly what I thought she would. She was out grappling her. But she did hit that reversal Cornoli at the end of the first. And I just saw Mullins slowing down enough. Both were slowing down, but I just was like, first of all, this fight ain't going to decision. And Cornoli clearly had a striking and then power advantage. She hits her to the body, follows it up with a flurry, finishes Mullins. We cash 2 big plus money tickets, and we start the night off hot. We move into the next fight, and we keep it going, man. We had Almeida plus 135, or plus 130 on the money line against Budka. Budka just didn't want to fight, man. All he wanted to do was hold Almeida up against the cage. As I talked about in my breakdown, that's exactly how the fight would go. And I knew Almeida would be the one doing the damage, the one looking to fight. Budka just I'm not knocking wrestling, but you got to at least get the takedown. He was just holding him up against the cage. The refs ain't scoring that. 3-0. We cashed 3 straight plus money tickets. We move on to Gene Matsumoto taking on Dan Argueta. Argueta, I got him at plus 160. He clearly had a wrestling advantage. He was just shooting for his life. He at least was completing the takedowns and getting on top, but it was definitely taking a lot out of him. And at the end of that second round, with 1 second left, Matsumoto catches him in a guillotine, flips him over to mount, finishes him. People were like, "Why'd he tap, bro? 1 second left, bro." He was asleep. He tapped with his last breath. So we do miss that ticket, 3-1 on the plus money. So we're still big up. We move on to Victor Hugo, Pedro Falcao. Not a whole lot to say about this. I did pick Hugo. He did end up winning. It was a close fight. Falcao is legit. He's a good grappler. He came in on short notice. Hugo, I will be looking to fade in the future, but I did think he'd win this fight. He won the fight. We move on. Norma Dumont, Jermaine Durandamy. This was a close fight. I sat there. This was the one that I was kind of kicking myself for not betting because I saw it at minus 113 for Norma Dumont. And I was so tempted, the long layoff, the age of Jermaine. I really did. I was so tempted. I picked Dumont. I picked her to win by decision. But I didn't bet it. I wish I would have because she, at that line, I do think that the value was clearly there. I second-guessed myself. I don't bet a lot of women's favorites often. But at the end of the day, it was a great night, so you can't be too upset. Speaking of great night, man, we get into the next fight. And this one was controversial to some. Walter Walker was taking on Lucas Brzezinski. Walker was clearly taking him down. He landed some ground and pound, but overall, man, again, if you're just wrestling, you gotta go for the submissions, or you gotta land devastating ground and pound. And even the ground and pound shots he was landing were only when Bresky was using his hands to try to just get back up. So there was open, quick shots, little rapid punches. But, he mounted him a couple times, but he couldn't do much. And Brzezinski was just landing the better shots, and the wrestling doesn't look good when it's desperate. Same with Argueta. If that would have ended up going to decision, it would have been tough because, one guy's desperately shooting for his life, and he's not doing enough when he's on top, and the other guy is beating you up when you're on the feet. So I thought Brzezinski won. Some people didn't agree. Hey, I'll cash plus 310, another big plus money ticket. We were on a roll. We move right on to Alex Morono, Court McGee. I didn't have a bet on this. I did pick Alex Morono to win. Court McGee made it close. He made it. He's a veteran, just a dog. But in the end, Alex Morono was landing the better shots. I agree with the decision. I think most people did agree, but hey, it was a competitive fight. I won't even knock it. It was a good fight, but I thought Alex Morono won. He got the win. We move on. Charlie Campbell, Trevor Peek. I picked Campbell, no bet as well. I just thought he was a more skilled guy, but Peek showed he's a dog, man. He's got power. He landed a couple shots that had Campbell thinking, but in the end, Campbell uses grappling. He uses just more technical striking. Did see him use a good bit of grappling, which not a lot of people saw. or saw coming. But yeah, Charlie Campbell gets the win. No bet, but he did get the win as I figured he would. Same with this next fight, man. Ignacio Bahamondes. I did think the line was a little crazy, but at the end of the day, I wasn't willing to take Giagos because I knew he was the type that is just going to go absolutely nuts in that first round. Maybe he can catch some, but he's probably going to get caught. And that's what happened. Got clipped, got finished. Giagos, man, he just gets finished a lot. This dude's been finished like 10 times. But Bahamondes is legit. Good to see him get back on the winning train. And we move right on to a good fight. This was a close fight. Chepe Mariscal versus Morgan Charrier. I actually thought Charrier won, but to be honest, I didn't have money on the fight, and I wasn't super, I thought Charrier won. I think it was round 2 and 3, but it was close. It was a good fight, honestly. Chepe honestly was controlling a little bit more than I figured he would, but I thought the better shots were landed by Charrier. It is what it is. It was a good fight. I didn't have any money on it. I was kicking myself as well, not as much as the Norma Dumont fight, but in this co-main event, man, Damon Jackson just was able to, Alexander Hernandez did land. I think dropped him at one point, but, Damon Jackson is a dog, man, and I knew it was going to be close. I knew that line was off. Man, I wish, you can't get greedy. It was a great night, but, man, Damon Jackson just showed why, man, Alexander Hernandez should not be that big of a favorite against really anybody. He's too fluky. Man, it was crazy. Both guys looked like crap at the weigh-in. Alexander missed, but Damon honestly looked worse making weight. He's a dog. Man, I was kicking myself for not laying that underdog money, but I had, 6+ money bets already, so I was like, I don't want to force any. I really am confident in these ones. But the real ass kisser was, or kicker, I had it right the first time, was the main event, man. Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis, and let me know in the comments if you agreed with the decision. I know I'm biased. I had money on Chris Curtis plus 181. I thought he won the fight, man. Brendan Allen was able to get him down a couple times. He was able to take the back, but every single time Chris Curtis would spin out, get on top, land some shots, let him up. Brendan Allen butt scooting, trying to, come on down to my guard. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm a purple belt. Doesn't matter. That crap's so lame. And I could use a different word for it, but Chris Curtis, get on up, buddy. The thing that probably killed him in that fifth, because I'm pretty sure all 3 judges gave Brendan Allen the fifth. I thought Chris Curtis clearly won the fifth. I think that last couple seconds hurt him because the judges probably scored that for Brendan Allen because Chris Curtis goes down. It looks like he got clipped, but no, he tore his knee. I thought Chris Curtis won the fight, man. He did more damage on the feet. He was the one coming forward the whole entire fight. So I know that's not a huge grading aspect, but the octagon control was 100% in Chris Curtis's way. I thought he did the more damage. I thought he should have won the fight. I knew it was going to be dicey because the judges, man, you got Adelaide Bird out there. But, I don't know, man. It's just tough to score that grappling when there's not a whole lot of damage coming from it, and he didn't get the submission. So it's like, he got to his best position, and he wasn't able to do anything with it. And then they'd get back to the feet, and he'd be desperately shooting, and Chris Curtis was lighting him up. I mean, it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was a close, competitive fight. It's not like it was the biggest robbery I've ever seen, but I did think the wrong guy got the decision. But even with missing that bet, we still made out great, man. We cashed Cornoli plus 290. Fight doesn't go to decision in the Cornoli fight, plus 230. Almeida plus 130 and Brzezinski plus 310. We only missed Dan Argueta plus 160 and Chris Curtis plus 181. I own that Argueta loss, but I did think Curtis should have won. Next week, though, we got UFC 300, man. And this one first, the UFC 90 bookies, man. Sorry, guys. I know I'm putting you out of business. I know I'm taking this all year this year. I've just been taking all your money, man. Your kids are going to be eating Fruit Loops for the next year. My bad. And, the Dank Gang, I know that they're an army behind me, and they're stealing all your money. And I'm sorry, but this is for the bookies at UFC 300. I apologize. But leave a like on the video, man. Let me know in the comments if you made money, what bets you hit, which ones you missed, how you felt about that main event decision. And look out for some early content. I'm going to be on top, dropping them a little early for UFC 300. I might even do like a live stream. I haven't done that in a long time. So look out for that. I appreciate you guys, man. I got to get to work, as you can see. Try to hurry up on this. But it is a small card. We got UFC 300 to look for, man. Hope you enjoyed the fights. I'll see you next week. Again, dropping them early. Like the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Subscribe. Dislike the video. Tell me I suck. Appreciate you guys. Keep the streak rolling. Peace.